Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back. It's round 2 with my Spellbinders kit from December. So I made these 6 cards, which you can see in a past video with the kit. And then I had plenty of comments to let me know that you guys wanted to see me play with it once again. And I had so much left over and I was ready to go. And really, I still have way so much left over. All right, so card number 1. I loved this paper that has the hearts with the hands, and I thought about us crafters and card makers, and I thought about all the love that we put into the things that we make with our hands. So I decided to use this paper with some of the ephemera that's linked to crafting. So guys, I'm going to be tearing up this kit, and what that means is a lot of paper tearing. I really enjoyed it in the first video, and it just makes for quick and interesting aesthetic, so I went for it again. I made all 4 of these cards in less than 40 minutes. It was a great card making session. And that's what I like about these kits. I like fast crafting. So what I'm doing today is creating vignettes, if you will, with the ephemera. And I think what's so neat about the ephemera and the Spellbinders kits is how diverse the ephemera is in every single kit. So every single kit doesn't just keep repeating the same images over and over. They put something in there for everyone, I feel like. So I really wanted to kind of group like pieces together, but I could have easily probably pulled off 10 cards doing this. All right, so this is the first, and I just kind of laid this stuff down and liked it, and that was it. So what I did before recording this video was I just quickly flipped through the ephemera. I have it in one of my little mushroom boxes, and if y'all are wondering what my mushroom boxes are that I always refer to, they are literally the little plastic boxes that you can buy mushrooms in at the grocery store. And I wash them. I probably have 15 of them in my craft room, and they are so handy for keeping things together that I'm working on if I'm working on multiple projects at the same time. So I just flipped through my little mushroom box that had all my ephemera, and I grabbed pieces that I thought went together, and then I put them in a pile, and that was it. And then you'll see me arrange them in the video and put the cards together. Now, I had talked about this in my previous video about how this year I'm really going to be focusing even more on the insides of my cards and actually decorating both sides. And I love the outcome I'm getting from this. I just really feel like it makes my cards more finished. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to do another little cluster. I had all these little pieces picked out originally to go together. And so again, I'm just kind of taking a couple of pieces and clustering them. I wanted to put these paint tubes in, but they just weren't working. So what I did instead is there was a heart, and I brought that in instead. And I thought that really set it off. Plus it ties in all the hearts that are on the front of the card in the paper. All right, so that pretty much does it for this card. And I imagine I will definitely be sending this to a crafty friend or an Etsy customer. I have so many D-stash items in there that I usually will put a handmade card when people purchase these D-stash items, and being that they're stamps and stuff, I know the person is crafty, so I might also include it in there. This is card number 2. It was so super simple. So the paper that you see, the background paper, is just a bunch of envelopes, which they had matching ephemera for. So what I decided to do is create a randomized background with the ephemera. And it's very kind of monochromatic. This layout is, the thing that stands out the most is the white envelope. And I popped up every single piece of ephemera. And that's it. I just kind of arranged them and then popped them all up with foam tape so that there was dimension. I had a few that were overhanging, so I had to trim those off. And I did toy with the idea of putting sequins on this, the ones that came in the kit, but I actually really just kind of appreciate it for what it is, for a very simple design, but there's plenty to look at. When I am thinking about my card design, I try to think, will this hold interest? Like, if someone gets it, are they going to have something to look at and to intrigue them? And I think this has enough. Like, I think whoever receives this card will have plenty to kind of keep them interested. Okay, so I created a sentiment with the stamp set that's included with the kit. And then I took the little images and I love that envelope. And then I also will stamp all around it. Now I didn't get a clean stamp the first time, which is my fault, not the stamps. These stamps actually stamp beautifully. I don't mind that Spellbinders doesn't use photopolymer because I've never had a problem with their stamps. And I think it keeps the price of the kit more affordable or lower priced. So I have no problem with it. Their stamps have always performed very well for me. But I just brought in a pen and finished off the design since it's just that simple. All right, so that is the inside panels for my card. Today in this video, I'm using the card bases that are supplied by Spellbinders. And because I layer my cards up so much, I don't mind that they're not like a super heavy cardstock. Because by the time I get done putting a card front on there and then 2 inserts on the inside, this card's extremely sturdy and has a nice weight to it. Okay, like I said before, I'm tearing it up. So here we go again. On this card, over on the right, you can see I have a whole pile of scraps. That's from my first video. And for this card, I really kind of wanted to create almost like a patchwork look to the card front. So I tore up that piece, and then I just kind of go through my scraps and grab 2 more pieces of different paper to lay behind. And that was almost too easy because I found 2 I liked right away. And then I'm going to flip through this stack of scraps. So guys, I just keep this with the 6x6 paper, and then that way it's there and ready and available rather than putting it in my scrap bin. Okay, so here we go. Tore up another piece. This is going to kind of ground my vignette for this card. And with these, I am completely covering the card front, or the card base. So it's edge to edge with the paper. A lot of times in my designs, you know that I leave a border around, but in this one, I thought it was much more fitting to have it cover the entire card base. I'm trying to use the double-sided tape that comes in the kit. I actually really like their tape. I'm just kind of spoiled. I like a tape runner because it's so fast. But I'm just trying to use what I have, and they send tape every month. I did use a little bit of dimension on some of these, just popping up certain elements. And this one, I added the hat to the cameo, or, you know, the portrait of the woman. So I thought that was a fun thing to do. For me, it made her a little more modern. You know, all the Instagram girls in their hats. I don't know if that'll be a trend in 2021, but I'm sure it will. They'll have to have their hats. I actually really appreciate, that this month's kit was so on trend. I loved the colors. I loved the images. Like, I just want to keep crafting with it. And what's so awesome is that I love the kit so much and there's so much there to use. So, this is one of those kits where it can sometimes be a challenge to use everything up. But with this one, because I like it so much, I really want to try to use it all up. One thing I'm doing in 2021 is with my kits, I am going to try to just use it 100%. And then I'll just have like a stamp set or a die set to add to my stash. But currently, I have a 13 by 13 box, and it is filled, organized very well, but filled with kits of the past that never got used up. So this year I'm going to go through those, hopefully rework them, but any new kit that comes into my craft room, I'm really going to try to use it up. You might have seen me work with a paper pumpkin kit in my last video, and I used 100% of it. All I had left was the ink, the stamp set, and like 4 or 5 little ephemera pieces, or they were really sentiment pieces. And that was it. I used all of it. And that's kind of how I want to do it in 2021. Okay, so here we go. This is the inside of the card. And this image, this wreath, I just really, really like it so much. So I keep wanting to go back and use it, and I do keep using it. In fact, when I started making cards in this session, I almost used that wreath as the basis for all of my cards. Like, that was going to be my common element. But I steered myself away from it. I didn't want you guys to get bored. And I'm pleased with the final outcome. So I had to offset that wreath a little bit because I really wanted, again, to bring in the paper. And with these, like, I just eyeballed where I tore that paper just now. And with the next 2 pieces, I'm totally just eyeballing it. I'm not even worrying about it too much. I'm just tearing it, and it'll be what it'll be. And it all worked out. I found after years of paper crafting, I actually have a pretty good eye now for measurements. I can just tear pieces of paper, and somehow they do end up almost the same exact length. All right. I think that is so precious. Really, really nice. I'm going to bring in some of the stamps again. I'm enjoying decorating the corners of these cards lately, and the stamp was just perfect for that. It's a heart with some like leaves around it. So, when you get a stamp set, even if you have like micro images, don't discount them. You can do a lot with tiny images in a stamp set. You can make your own backgrounds. You can do like what I did just then. I mean, there's just so many things. So this one's fun. I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I decide rather quickly that I'm going to draw an oval and then tear it out. I have oval dies, but I really just wanted to stick to the kit, not bring in anything extra, and show you what you could do. And so I'm kind of arranging this in the first oval that I drew. I want to see how much of my pattern paper is going to show through my vignette. So I decide not enough. So instead I draw my oval larger, and then I start to tear. And I'm just going to take my time a little bit and tear around that oval. Now I tore it in a way because I wanted you to see the white core, and I wanted it to look super intentional. So that's why I tore the direction that I did. And I somehow just nailed it on the size as far as for my A2 card front. So now I just need to glue all of this stuff down. Again, I'm going to pop up some, but I'm going to glue most of everything down. In fact, the only thing I popped up on this card was the bird and the little pink frame, the oval frame. Everything else is glued down. Now, in my first layout, when I was trying to figure out how I wanted to use the ephemera with the oval, I had put those pink flowers there at the top of my screen by the bird. I had those in my layout and I really liked that. Unfortunately, they didn't make it into the final card. Bummer. That's okay. That happens. So I'm just playing around here with kind of where I wanted my bird to go. Oh, I did pop up the sentiment as well. So I glue the bird to the oval and then I'll bring in my foam tape, which in this one I'm using the Derice. I'm trying to use it up. I have found that scrapbook.com has a better foam strip deal, so I'm just trying to use up what I have in my stash of the Derice, and then I'm moving on to the other. Okay, so that's that. I bring in 2 inserts for the inside of my card. You know it. I am going to bring this wreath back in, and then I had loved the sentiment in the stamp set, and I didn't get to use it in my first video, so I was so excited I got to use it on this card. And I think I know exactly which friend I'm sending this card to. This is totally her style too. This is like her style 100%. So I had her in mind when I was making it, and I will be sending it to her. Okay, so that little butterfly again is in the stamp set. And then it's so funny, but I didn't want to throw these scraps away originally. I kept them on my desk, and I'm so glad I did because I think they were the perfect final touch for the inside of this card. Again, bringing in the design that I had done on the outside and incorporating it fully to make the card cohesive. So I'd love to know what you guys think about these cards today. I hope that you're inspired if you have the kit. And if you don't have the kit and you really want it, this one's called Heart Hands, don't worry. Spellbinders offers the kits after the subscription and the month has passed, and then they often have sales on past kits. So be patient. I would catch it on sale if I were you. And you can get one too. All right, so these are the cards. I'm probably going to sit down myself with the camera off one more time and try to use up this kit. I never even got to the tags. They had a whole pack of tags that they included with this card kit, so I might make a bunch of tags for my stash. Let me know which cards you like. I really appreciate you guys encouraging me to make another video with this kit. I'm so glad you liked the first one. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on my channel, along with, 163 other card making videos you might like. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Shout out to all my subbies who have been commenting. I really appreciate it. Here are the places you can find me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.